Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon to all attendees. First of all, I want to thank you. I want to graduate to take. Sorry. I want to say my thanks to agency and everything that they done today, because speaking in the name of standard, I will say that today we have a measure for improvement, because we are making a new value of a halal standard. Today we are talking about biggest results and some new ideas. So we are today on some labyrinths of new ideas. Because I'm coming from private sector, actually I'm coming from practice, so I'm going to speak about us holding the biggest food industry in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and also in the name of Solana Tuzla, which is very familiar for all of you, that's salt factory here in Bosnia and Herzegovina. As I said already, US Holding Group is the largest food chain in Bosnia and Herzegovina, has embraced business strategy, acknowledges the necessity of adapting its operation to challenges both by climate change and aligned with the global objectives of sustainable development by 2030. Because when we are talking about private sector, we all here today, we are speaking about halal demands, some regulations. But all those demands and regulations are something that we have to fulfill in our industries. So we have a lot of demands, even though if we want to be visible on the market, we have to have everything for our final products. So we actually today present the results about all implemented and integrated standards in our factory related with new integration of HALAL 2023 and also with sustainability standards like RS and ARSPO standards, which are very important, and we have two implemented standards in our holding. So for those who are not familiar with US Holding is a group of a lot of companies that are based in the food sector, and some of their core businesses are production and packaging of roasted and ground coffee, fruit and vegetables, processing and production of milk, development, production of sale, production of cocoa bean, processing and production of cocoa products, also salt extraction, as I already said, production and distribution of food products, and also logistics. So we are a big holding and have to have a lot of questions to think about. So this research actually explains how we are doing on our processes in production to be in line with all demands, with 70 goals for 2030 that we have to fulfill when we are talking about sustainability. So this research is about 10 companies, and they are from different cantons here in Bosnia and Herzegovina, because we have companies in different cantons, so Sarajevo canton, Tuzla canton, Unsko-Sanski canton, Zenica, etc. And I will present you the results of everything that we actually possess and all demands that we fulfill to be a leading company or a leading holding on the market. So among our surveyable members, we have 4 members, actually 40% of members that have implemented and integrated 14,001. And when we are talking about that, we are actually talking about environmental premises and everything that we have to fulfill regarding to environmental management. Also, all our 10 companies, 80% of them has recognized the use of solar panels, and this is a strategy that we will actually lead on during our period of growth in this environmental part, because today I'm going to speak about our steps to ESG, because we have environmental, social and governance part. So this is one of environmental fulfillment of our survey companies in holding. Also, we have, when we are talking about social standards, 45,001 certification defines occupational health and safety for our employees. We have this standard implemented in 2 of our factories, and also we have other measures to fulfill these demands to be safe with our workers and our employees. Also, something that we are going to do in the closer future, just to say it like that, we are going to do the implementation of ISO 37301, which is combined with compliance, something that is very important in our factories, also actually in our companies. Regarding social development, us holding promotes diversity, also inclusions. So we have a lot, maybe like 80% of members have actively included workers that have some inclusions, but they are equally with other employees. So we have also fulfilled this goal from 70 goals of 2030 demands. Also, you can see here a diagram, which is ethical code, which is percent of ethical codes, or actually demands of ethical codes that are implemented in our factory. The most important, maybe the prevention of corruption. We have 20% in our factories. Conflict of interest and everything we have to fulfill, or actually have to take care of, because we want some improvements in our way of working. When we are talking about government, and actually because of time I'm reducing my speech, when we are talking about government, most of our companies, to be precise, 80% of our company has implemented ISO 9001. And I can say this is maybe the main standard for all our companies, because every other certificate is integrated using this skeleton of ISO 9001. So you see here the diagram which shows which safety qualities we have in our holding. We have MEQS, which is very important for animal final products, HALAL 27%, HACCP 37%, IFS 21%. So we have a lot of, in practice, we have a lot of demands that we have to fulfill. Although we have also implemented sustainability standards like RA and RSPO, which is based for cocoa products. When we are talking today about halal, it's very important that we integrate halal in all implemented systems. So it's very near and it's very close to speak about sustainability and halal, because that's future actually. So we have to find those similar things to combine, like requests when we are talking about industries and everything in production. So I put here like 4 biggest demands, like a procurement, because all raw material have to be fulfilled with demands of halal and also with sustainability standards. We have also the second one, is the shortage requirements. We have to have facilities, and also all raw material has to be separated from the other materials. Traceability requirements, because we don't want any recalls. That's something that we don't want to be even though mentioned about with that. And also the production line of line segregation. Production line must clearly mark to prevent cross-contamination. So those are the steps that maybe in the private sector are very combined with costs. So we have to invest a lot to fulfill these demands when we are talking about standards in each demand of each standard that is implemented and integrated. I will say just few conclusions, just to save the time. So you can see here are the total survey of 10 members with us holding group. 9 of our companies have HALAL standard, and they also have implementation for a new integration of HALAL 2023, and this demonstrates a proactive approach through meeting industry standards and ensuring product quality and compliance with involving regulatory requirements. Also, a critical control point in the HALAL standard is a fundamental requirement of implemented sustainability development standards. The procurement process is the key. The procurement is the process key for each of our standards when we are talking about sustainability raw materials and when we are talking about HALAL raw materials. As you could hear from other panelists, the raw materials is the base thing when we are talking about production. So, based on presented results of standardization in social, environment, food safety and sustainability standards, along with the integration and the transition, in this we can say that we have fulfilled a lot of, actually to be precise, of demands of ESG. So we are on a good way and on the good path also. These are some statistical data that we have already spoke today. And for the end of my presentation, try your best to eat halal good food and stay away from haram food.